Okay, so I'm gonna do the explain. Oh, I'm Kyle Walker. CS 1040, I believe, is the class. We're just gonna do the paper rock scissors assignment. This is a library, basically in C++. We call this a library. It's a collection of files that we're using for the program. In this assignment, we're just working here with our source files in game.cpp, game.h, main.cpp. This is the driver. The main is the driver file. This is the header file, and game.cpp is the that's our code file where we define our functions and variables and logic. If this stuff is new to me, we didn't do this in Java, but from what I understand, it stops the compiler from running files twice, I guess. Something to do with the preprocessor and making sure that each file is read the correct amount of times, I guess, or not, because it'll give you errors about redefining variables and whatnot if it calls them more than once. So these are our function prototypes. They're basically declarations of our functions, what we're going to use in the file or in the program. Void means that there's going to be no return value. Game menu is the name of the function, and the empty brackets indicate that there's no parameters that we're putting in there to pass through it. On the next one, in AI choice it returns an integer, so that's why it's not void. It's integer. AI choice is the name. Again, empty parameters, so nothing to pass through the parameters. Void, another one that doesn't return a value, is our rock paper scissors logic function. It's with parameters of 2 integer parameters for the player and the computer. So next we'll go over to our game.cpp, where we work on all of our functions and defining everything and building the logic. Include IOStream means it's a library with cout and endl and some, I'm sure, many other things. Include ctime is for the time seed for the random number generator. It's not truly random if you're not, well, it's still not truly random, but it makes it more random to select a seed from basically a timestamp. So that's what ctime is going to do. This is for the srand and random functions, another library. And we're going to include our game.h file as well. So this is just including all the different files that we're going to need. These are libraries that other people have built, and this is our own header file here. Using namespace std means we're going to use everything in this space. I'm pretty sure that I've read about it, this is bad practice. From what I understand, some people feel like it's bad practice to use this. Instead, they break it up into different namespaces, I believe, in each function, or I'm not sure how they divide it, but yeah. For now, we're using namespace std, and we're going to include the whole namespace. So here's our game menu function. Just basically prints the cout, prints these lines. It's a menu saying press 1 for rock, 2 for paper, 3 for scissors. Endl means it ends the line. Strings are always it's just like Java, placed within quotations, and yeah, it's pretty similar to Java. I might even like it a little more, but it could just be this cool new CLion IDE. But anyways, here's our AI choice function. It's returning an integer, a random number between 1 and 3 for our this is where we set the seed for our random number generator, and then set the random number between 3 and 1 to an integer AI variable. And then we're going to display whatever that is, calling it computer choice AI. So cout, or computer selects, and then it gives you this random number, and it ends the line and returns that number. And this is the logic for our game play, pretty much. If this happens, then this happens. and it means this. So again, we have our two parameters, player and computer. So if player is 1, then these are the other possibilities that it could be for the computer, 1, 2, and 3, and it gives you the results for each of those possibilities. Else if, again, it's the next choice, possible choice for player. This is just my logic for it. I'm sure there's another way to do this, but it seemed easiest to me. I just looked at the chart that was on the README file, and this is what I did. So another else if is just like Java with the else if, except for yeah, I think it is just like Java, except for I think we use switch statements too here. I need to look more into switch statements. I think you actually use them in Java too. I think I've seen them. So yeah, these are all the possibilities for what I would pick, and the possibilities for what the computer would pick if I picked each of those numbers, which represent rock, paper, or scissors. So it's a simulation. And then else, that means I didn't select 1, 2, or 3, or the user didn't select 1, 2, or 3, meaning they didn't pick the right. There's no possibility, you can't add, it's not like rock, paper, scissors, shovel or anything, so we're not adding any. That's how we know that loop will end. If that is the case, I think there should be an error there, but oh yeah, that's what it says. It just gives you the error. You didn't select 1, 2, or 3. Ends the loop. Now we have to, those are our functions, just defining them, setting the logic. Now we go over to our main file, which is our driver. Include IOStream again for our C out, C in stuff, and endl formatting stuff. I think we're including our game.h header file again, and using namespace std for standard, I think it's called. So our main, just like Java, set the character. This is for our yes no while loop, y, capital Y. Games variable to keep track of the number of games. Int games, it starts at 0. So this is our start of our loop. So while ch equals y, or lowercase y, so it's like equals ignore case y. Int choice and AI. So this is something we can do in C++ that we don't do in Java. Is you can, if you have a series of the same data type, then you can just use the integer declaration once and put commas after them. Inside our while loop here, that's where we go into our game menu function, get the user input, and it takes their choice from C in is like taking input. And then we get the AI choice, set it to AI using the AI choice function that we built. And then we call the rock, paper, scissors logic function with our parameters here that we got from our other functions, choice, our choice, and the computer's choice. And then we ask the user, would you like to play again, yes or no? So we'll assume the user uses only Y or Y for true, anything else is false. And then whatever the input is set to CH. Games goes up 1. And if there's more than 3 games played, then it ends the loop or ends the game. See how it tells you played how many games that we got from this counter here. And thank you for playing. So that ends, and then break. And with C++, we always return 0, and I'm still trying to figure that out. But yeah, that's like a standard pretty much in everything I've seen in C++. We always return 0, and I will learn more about why coming up, I'm sure.